Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Welcome to another day of Ramadan Storytime. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of having sincerity in our actions. The Prophet ﷺ warned us about showing off, and he referred to it as a minor shirk. And Ibn Abbas explained that detecting this minor shirk, the showing off in our actions, is more difficult to spot than a black ant on a black rock in a dark night. So it can creep into our actions. We have to make sure we're sincere. And I want to share a story that really highlights the power of sincerity in our actions. One of the great scholars of Islam, a very early scholar, Imam Hassan al-Basri, may Allah have mercy upon him, was a student of the companions, a tabi'in, and he was always worshiping and teaching and lived a very simple life of zuhud, just always focused on Allah. And one day, after he gave a Friday khutbah, some slaves came to him and they told him that we really like your khutbah, and can next week you give a khutbah telling people to free their slaves because there's a lot of slaves and we're in a difficult condition. So Imam Hassan al-Basri agreed to do that. So the next week, the slaves came to the masjid, listened to the khutbah, and Imam Hassan al-Basri gave a very nice khutbah and made people cry. But he didn't mention anything about slavery. So they thought maybe he forgot. So he came again the next week, and again, he didn't tell people to free their slaves. And then so many weeks went by, and he didn't mention anything about it. So they thought maybe he just completely forgot. And they just gave up, and they thought, maybe he doesn't care about us. And then finally, a year later, a complete year later, Imam Hassan al-Basri gave a very powerful speech telling people they need to free their slaves. And then right after that speech, all the slaves were freed. So then the slaves came to Imam Hassan al-Basri, and they said, well, what happened? We told you about this a year ago, and now you do this, and look at the result. You should have did this a year ago, and all the slaves would have been freed. So he told them, well, when you told me that, I wanted to give the speech. Was poor and didn't own any slave. So I decided to work and make some extra money and save up money. And then it took me a year, and today I bought a slave, and then today I freed that slave. And they told him, why did you go through all that trouble? You didn't need to do all that. You could have just told people free the slaves, and you see they all free the slaves. Well, he told them, I don't want to tell people to do something that I myself don't do. So this is the power of sincerity. We all hear very that speak loud words. Well, the scholars and the early generation of Islam truly acted upon this. When you truly do something, it's very powerful. He didn't need to give a big, long seminar and publish books and all that kind of stuff to tell people to stop having slaves. He just himself freed a slave, told people to free it, and because of his sincerity, people followed his action. So I make dua that Allah makes all of us people who have sincerity and have no forms of major or minor shirk. And until tomorrow, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.